Hey everyone, welcome back. In our last video, we explored the four key muscles of the posterior scapular region: supraspinatus, infraspinatus, teres minor, and teres major. But today we're unlocking something even more interesting: the gateways of this region. Think of them as the anatomical doorways that allow nerves and arteries to travel between the neck, axilla, and arm. Before we dive into the spaces, we need to meet one key muscle that forms the borders: the long head of the triceps brachii. It originates from the infraglenoid tubercle of the scapula and runs almost vertically down the arm to join the other two heads of triceps, inserting onto the olecranon of the ulna. It is supplied by the radial nerve and extends the forearm at the elbow, but its real importance here is architectural. This vertical column divides the region into triangular and quadrangular windows, which are our spaces. So there are four main spaces or gateways in this region: suprascapular foramen, connecting the neck to the scapular region; quadrangular space, connecting the axilla to the back of the shoulder; triangular space, another communication between axilla and scapular region; and triangular interval, the passageway from the axilla to the posterior arm. Let's explore each one, their boundaries, contents, and clinical importance. The suprascapular foramen is our first gateway. Formed by the suprascapular notch of the scapula and closed by the superior transverse scapular ligament, through this foramen, the suprascapular nerve passes from the neck into the scapular region, and the scapular artery and vein travel just above the ligament, not through it. Remember the line, Army over Navy. So artery is over and nerve is under. Moving lower and lateral, we find the quadrangular space, the most clinically important of all. It forms a direct communication between the axilla and the posterior scapular region. So its boundaries are superiorly teres minor, inferiorly teres major, medially the long head of triceps brachii, and laterally the surgical neck of humerus. Its contents are the axillary nerve and the posterior circumflex humeral artery and vein. So every time the axillary nerve exits the axilla, it travels through this very space, accompanied by the posterior circumflex humeral artery, wrapping around the surgical neck of the humerus to supply the deltoid and teres minor. Clinical correlation is the quadrangular space syndrome, wherein the compression of axillary nerve leads to teres minor atrophy and dull shoulder pain. Medial to the quadrangular space lies the triangular space. Its boundaries are simple: superiorly the teres minor, inferiorly teres major, and laterally the long head of triceps. It transmits the circumflex scapular artery and vein, which are the vital contributors to the scapular anastomosis. Our last space lies just below teres major, the triangular interval. Now this one connects the posterior compartment of the arm with the axilla. Its boundaries are superiorly the teres major, medially the long head of triceps, and laterally the shaft of humerus. Its contents are the radial nerve and profunda brachii artery and veins. This is where the radial nerve and profunda brachii artery enter the posterior arm, supplying the triceps and continuing down the radial groove. All these spaces together maintain continuous vascular and neural communication between the neck, shoulder, and upper limb. The arteries form the scapular anastomosis, a network allowing collateral circulation between the subclavian and axillary arteries. This ensures blood flow even if one route is blocked. Now let's summarize the key clinical points you should never forget. Suprascapular nerve entrapment leads to weak abduction due to supraspinatus and weak external rotation due to infraspinatus. Quadrangular space syndrome, that is the axillary nerve compression, leads to teres minor wasting, and radial nerve injury at the triangular interval leads to wrist drop and triceps weakness if it is proximal. Now let's summarize these spaces. Remember, there are two triangles, one quadrangle and one foramen, four spaces that make shoulder anatomy make sense. So the suprascapular foramen boundaries are the suprascapular notch, superior transverse scapular ligament containing suprascapular nerve below and the artery above. Quadrangular space bounded by the teres minor, teres major, long head of triceps and humerus containing the axillary nerve and posterior circumflex humeral artery. Triangular space bounded by teres minor, teres major, and long head of triceps containing the circumflex scapular artery, and the triangular interval bounded by the teres major, long head of triceps and humerus containing radial nerve and profunda brachii artery. That's all for today's deep dive into the spaces of the posterior scapular region. In the next session, we'll connect this to the axilla and discuss how these neurovascular roots continue into the arm. If you found this visual breakdown helpful, hit like, share it with your anatomy buddies, and don't forget to subscribe.